What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Vigilante, and listen. See, in this video right here, I'm going to be showcasing the forgiveness tool by Dr. Cynthia Williams. Forgiving yourself, forgiving others, forgiving God, and your goals for the future. In this video, I want to talk about part 2 of a time where I had to forgive myself. And this is going to be 2 parts of when I took my money that I was supposed to spend on buying my penthouse on 2 different things that didn't pan out the way I thought they were going to pan out. So let's first talk about my blue check verification on Instagram. So before Meta Verified came around, and for those who are not familiar with Meta Verified is a new feature in the Instagram app where you can pay $14 a month and then you get the blue check. Now, before Meta Verified came around, getting the blue check was unheard of for a person who was coming up or a person who wasn't signed or just a big actor or just a notable celebrity. So that was one of my biggest goals on social media, was to get that blue check. I spent almost $10,000 making sure all of my article write-ups were good, making sure that my Google Knowledge panel was good, making sure that all of my following and engagement was good, etc., etc. I spent a long time putting this presentation together and submitting everything over to the members of the Facebook team and Meta team as Facebook was transferring over to Meta. And man, I spent a lot of money doing it. And right after I got verified, probably about a year later, Instagram took my blue check down, and that hurt my heart because everybody that helped me get there vanished. And so I guess a little part of this is also forgiving others as well. And I couldn't believe it. The people who helped me get to where I was at did not want to help me in the situation, and they all just kind of poofed on me. And as I was trying to regain my footing from that situation, I realized that I had reached the mountaintop and planted my flag just to have the wind to blow my flag away. To this day, nobody really knows what happened or in that situation. So a year after that, as I was trying to get my blue check back for a year, but not really as much as I was the first time that I got it because I had already had it. As I was trying to regain it, Meta Verified came around, $14 a month. So that means that I spent almost $10,000 doing something that if I would have just waited for 2 years, I would have been able to do for $14 a month, and I would have been able to have my penthouse. Definitely a situation where I have to forgive myself. I built up a hell of a brand in that time, and that brand still sticks to this day because of that investment that I made. But if I look at it from the penthouse perspective, and then if I look at it from the brand that I built perspective, man, you see my dilemma. But I definitely have to forgive myself, and I definitely do forgive myself. Thank you, God, because you are a perfect God. You understood what you were doing the entire time. I am but a mere mortal, and I know that your plan is always greater than mine. So I appreciate you. The second part to that story is when I did the single Fly Away with Dondria, which was almost another $10,000 that I spent. Beautiful song. I'll give you guys the backstory on how it came about. I created Fly Away when me and my ex-girlfriend were both having troubles at our individual homes. I found the beat, I wrote the song, and when I wrote the entire song, we went to a studio when I was at SAE, Sound Audio Engineering Institute of Technology College, back when I was 19. We went to James Brown's studio. I asked his producer, how do you know that a song is done? And he said, you know a song is done when you just gotta walk away from it. And I said, okay, cool. So I'm playing the song in the back seat of my friend Sharita's car, and she has a person in her passenger seat and also a person sitting next to me in the back, so it's 4 in total. So as I'm playing the song, I'm listening to it on my laptop through the headphones. I played the song twice. When I played the song, after the second time it was over, I stopped it. And everybody in there was like, shoot, you're not gonna run that thing back? And I was like, oh snap, y'all can hear that? They was like, yeah, it's a laptop headphones, it's loud. Is that the song you was asking about when we was in there? I said, yeah, that's the one. They was like, man, that's fire. So then Sharita started singing from the front, like, you should do this and you should do that. And she's doing runs and she's a really good singer. So I'm like, when we get back to the school, I need you to record that. So we got back to the school, we recorded it, and then it became Vigilante featuring Sharita. Now the problem is that Sharita didn't have a brand. Like, I mean, 0 followers, 0 music outs, like no brand. And so I put the song on ice because I didn't want it to fall on deaf ears. When 2020 came around, this was about 2014 that I'm talking about, 2014, 2015. So 5-6 years later, when COVID came around, I realized I didn't have any assets. So I said, the only asset that I have right now that they can't take away from me is my music. So I went back and I got back in the lab. I dug up the song and I sent it over to Dondria's team. Dondria's team loved the song and they said, let's do it. And I remember I was sitting at Publix one day and I said, this is the money right here for me to put the down payment on my penthouse. Or I can send this over to Dondria and the music can fuel the rest of my career in music. This single can fuel the rest of my music career. So I went the Dondria route. It was a beautiful experience. I got to meet that beautiful queen. She's a legend. The one who did You're the One for Me, who, for those who are unfamiliar. And man, that was such a beautiful experience getting back into the music industry, putting stuff on streaming platforms, shooting music videos. I had to shoot 2 music videos because she didn't like the first one. If you guys want to hear the entire backstory to Fly Away from the beginning to the end, I'll give you that. Just let me know in the comments. And man, the problem is that I made a list on a bulletin board at my ex's crib where I had over 100 rollout ideas just in a row. And nobody did what they said they were going to do. Before the single dropped, yeah, bro, I got you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I got you. I got you. I got you. When the single dropped, gone. Everybody was gone. Nobody did what they said they were going to do. So when you look at the streaming numbers, it didn't do what it was supposed to do. When you look at all the numbers, none of it did what it was supposed to do. Great song, great video. I own it forever, and I'm a forever love that. Got to meet some dope people. Got to let people understand who I am within this music industry. Beautiful. But man, it did not pan out the way I thought it would. But Fly Away became Deontay Bolden's mom's favorite song, and that song created the Bolden Awards, and I won my very first award off of that song. God had a plan the whole time, and his plan is always greater. It's always greater. It's always greater. I will give you guys the entire Fly Away story if you want it in the comments. But those are the 2 times where I was supposed to buy my penthouse and I ended up spending the money on my verification, and then I also ended up spending the money on the Fly Away single. And those are 2 times in my life that I have to forgive myself, because those are 2 times that I could have had something that was a dream of mine for a long time. But for whatever reason, it's not what God wanted me to do. So I absolutely have forgiven myself years ago, and I'm letting you guys know and being transparent with you that if you guys have a similar situation, it's time for you to forgive yourself as well. It's your boy, Vigilante.